Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. My name is Sarah, and in today's video we're going to be going over all of the reporting options in the Dialog tab of your RedTeam Flex database. So as you can see here, I've navigated to the Dialog tab of one of my projects. I've done that by coming down to the Projects menu and selecting my Hennepin Avenue Ice Cream Parlor project, and then clicking on the Dialog tab. Now, like any page within your RedTeam Flex projects, you have a view icon here that allows you to access all of the available reports on this page. We've got several reports here that we're going to go through, but the first thing to know prior to opening up these reports is that we can control what shows up on each of these reports using our filters first. Namely, by using the filters on this page, we're going to control what items show up on the documents log and the RFI summary. So let's take a look at our available filter options. Here, we can filter by document template. So these would be the different types of document templates you may have built out between RFIs, transmittal letters, emails, whatever other types of document templates you may have, along with status. And remember that if you want to report on anything other than committed and draft items, you'll want to come here and select that you want to view any of your closed, canceled, or voided items, because those are normally filtered off the main page. So we auto-filter to draft and committed items only, just to help reduce clutter for you. So once you've chosen the filters that you want, you can then go ahead and use the view icon to pull any of these reports. The first one being the documents log. This documents log is a general overview of all the document items here in the correspondence page, of course filtered based on those filters we just set. So what we can see here first is that it's going to tell us exactly which type of document template we have in each row. So each of these rows is an RFI, but we might also see emails here, transmittal letters, NTPs, anything else that you use your document templates for. We'll see the ID number, the issues related, remember those are your topics of discussion you create from a project, who it was sent by, the subject line, who it was sent to, the send date, the required date, and the date that any answer was returned if it's an RFI. We'll see the due date if there is one, who the answer was received from, where it's sitting in the workflow, and its current status in terms of draft, committed, or closed. Up top in the right-hand corner, you'll see that you also have the ability to control exactly which of these columns you view and which of these columns you do not want to see. So once we've customized what we're seeing on this report by setting our filters and selecting which columns we want to see, we can either print this report or export it to Excel. Note that if you use the print option, you can also choose to save it as a PDF and email it out to folks that way. We'll close that report and take a look at our next one here. Under the view icon, we also have our RFI summary report, which limits itself to only RFI type document templates. So you will still see a type column over here, just in case you have different types of RFIs. If you have multiple RFI document templates, you'll see the short name for each template over here. Now I'm just using one particular RFI template for this project, so I can see that all of them are just labeled as RFI. But I see the basic details of that RFI, along with the request or question and any answer. So we can see down here, RFI 20, we can actually see the text of the question that was sent and the answer that was submitted. We can also see hyperlinks for any attachments that went out with the request, and you would see hyperlinks over here on the right for any attachments that came back with the answer. Now notice that in this report, we also have the option up at the top to exclude confidential items. If you've marked any of your RFIs with that company confidential checkbox, this will be your opportunity to go ahead and exclude all of those RFIs from this report. Then of course you can print it or save it as a PDF and share it with folks as needed. Our next report here is the mobile events report. This one comes directly from the RedTeam Flex mobile app activity for your company. So we're going to see the project number here, right? So we're seeing all activity within the mobile app for this project, and we can see what type of activity took place, whether it's a phone call, an email, or any other form of correspondence. We'll see the date and time stamp, and the originator along with the recipient. That can also be printed or saved to PDF as needed. And then our last report here is the performance overview. Now we'll have a separate video to go over that performance overview in detail, but just know that this is a very high-level, customizable report that allows you to include much more than simply the correspondence from the Dialog tab. It's going to allow you to include facets of the project from all across these other tabs. You have the ability to include a lot of information there in the performance overview and send an overarching report on project updates to your customer. So that will be covered in a separate video, but just note that it is accessible here from the Dialog tab. So that is all of our Dialog tab reporting. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for choosing Red Team.